Good morning, everybody. Let me get this all pulled up as usual. Make sure it's running. Okay, good. All right, so today we're going to do this cute little ghost in coffee cup. Such a cute little cutter. I feel like you could probably use it for other things. Right now, my brain is like not functioning correctly. um, so I'm sure you could use it for other situations. You could just use it as a coffee cup. And then you could have like some flowers coming out of it or a candy cane coming out of it. I feel like you could probably fit Santa in this, gingerbread man, snowman, that kind of stuff. So definitely feel like there are other possibilities for this cutter. But today we're going to do that. It's so cute. So I'm going to start with this. This is the cutter. And I'm going to use, I'm going to do part of the pumpkin first because I want it to show some, again, some dimension. So we're going to flood some of this cookie first, and then I've obviously got one already kind of done, and we'll go back and do that one. So this is some detail glaze, and I'm going to do the middle part of this pumpkin, right, of his coffee cup. So here's the ghost. Morning, Mom. And then here's his little hands that are going to come down kind of over the like whipped cream or foam or whatever you want to think is on top of your coffee. Don't know who that is. Okay, so I'm going to use the cutter to kind of help me. You could use a marker. You could use your projector if you wanted to. I'm just going to use the cutter, and I'm going to start down here with the bottom of the pumpkin and just kind of that allows me to kind of start to see, like up here, I'm just going to go straight across, right? Just going to go straight across there. It's the top of the cup. I'm going to have whipped cream that's kind of covering that. So now all I have to do is like connect these 2 points. And I use the edge of the cookie cutter to kind of help me. So as I'm piping that on, I'm using this other free edge to kind of help my eyes create that edge of the pumpkin. Okay. So that you have a little something to help you if you don't have a projector or if you don't have, have those tools. You can still make this. And then I'm just going to go in with some regular glaze over top of that detail glaze. Again, I'm only using detail glaze because I have it. I have it made, so I might as well use it. I think this is a different orange. This is a different orange. Oh, this is Winifred's head. Winifred's. I'm making the Sanderson sisters today, so this is Winifred's hair. Probably shouldn't use that, but that's okay. I'm sure I have enough. All right, so we're just going to kind of smooth this out a little bit. It'll go smooth on its own, but sometimes with detail glaze, it doesn't want to the outline won't want to go smooth. So you kind of have to shake it just a little bit to kind of help it to get along, right in there. Okay. And then I'm going to pipe on the coffee cup. Sorry, I've got to check out who is texting me like 100 times. Oh, just nothing. All right. I'm going to pipe on. The stem is going to be the handle. So I'm going to just pipe on with some brown. I'm going to create that as a stem. And I'm going to let this dry for, a couple hours. And then I'm going to come back and kind of give it some texture to kind of look like it. So right now, all I'm going to do is just pipe this on a couple lines of brown. Just make sure it's kind of connecting into there. And then I'm just going to kind of square off the handles so they look like they fit right into the cup. Okay. And then we get to do the ghost. The ghosty. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and do just the ghost part. I'm not going to do the hands. I'm not going to do any of that. You could, if you wanted to kind of give some dimension if you weren't going to use some sort of like buttercream glaze combo or royal glaze combo or just royal icing. I'm going to use buttercream here for the whipped cream. So it definitely has a lot of texture and a lot of height to it. So I don't necessarily have to build height using just regular glaze. So I'm just going to pipe on the Ghost. And then I'm just going to leave everything else alone. I can pipe on the hands over top of the buttercream. Once I get that piped on, all of the things I can just deal with it all there. That's kind of the nice thing about being able to use like a buttercream, or you can use a royal icing glaze combo if you wanted to. That gives some height also. Detail glaze if you're using that, or modified glaze. Buttercream for me. I use a lot for flowers. So buttercream and glaze, exactly the same measurements mixed together, and then you just thicken it up. I find it's much easier to make flowers and whipped cream, stuff like this, than to make detail glaze, which just has a little bit of fat added to it. It's really hard to pipe some of the time, especially flowers. So I will opt to go with buttercream glaze combo together and make flowers. Okay, so those are our first steps. So I would let this dry for a couple of hours, and then I would come back to it. So here's what I did this morning. And so on the stem, I could paint it like I've been doing, where you just kind of add some texture to it. I'm just going to use some sharp things to just kind of give it some texture. And let's see if it'll let me show. I'm just kind of going in with a scraper just to kind of, I just want to give it some, stem texture, not anything that's crazy, just looking for basically some lines. And then if I wanted to, which is fine, piece right there. In a couple of hours or the next day, I could go in and paint that if I wanted to. I don't have to, but I could if I wanted to. All right, so now we're going to go into the pumpkin. And I'm just going to, again, go with the detail glaze and finish off the pumpkin. This is weighted long enough that it will show dimension. And I'm just going straight across. Now on this side, I am going to make sure, and the nice thing about waiting, if you don't wait too long, is you usually can kind of cut the icing if it's too long or too far into that part of your cookie. So I'm just going to go along here. Okay. And then I'm going to try to make sure I use the right orange. There we go. Not Winifred's hair. All right. And then I'm just going to go in and fill this in. So I'm going to go right up against that. My bag is not cut very thick, and I don't want to cut it again. So it just takes a little bit longer to kind of pipe it in. And then again, just kind of convince that detail right in those corners that, hey, you do like each other, so you do need to go together. See how that created that nice dimension there? And that's nice just to achieve something that really doesn't take, any more time. You're just waiting a little bit of time in between. Maybe you could do some other cookies. Maybe you could do all the steps. A lot of times I will just do all the steps on one set of cookies, and then I'll just go back and start on that second set, because usually by the time you're done with that first set, it is time to move on to the next steps, and it just works out well that way. So, and it just helps create something that you don't really have to work all that hard to create. Obviously, even without doing anything else to it, it's a pumpkin. We all know it's a pumpkin. That's what it is. I don't have to do much else to this to make it a pumpkin, right? I could do jack-o'-lantern if I wanted to. I could make, and I could even wait until like tomorrow, and I could come back with just a marker. I could do it with black icing if you had it. You could do it with poppy paint, painting it. It's whatever. It's totally up to you. There's so many options with this cute little cup. So my ghost is dry. Well, as dry can be, right? It was done this morning at 8 o'clock. I feel like we might see the sun for a little bit, but I doubt it. It's been raining here since yesterday. It's very dreary. Sorry, my black is stuck. There's a little piece of powdered sugar. This is the one thing about when you have like little bags of icing, when they get stuck, boy howdy, they get stuck. They get real stuck. Work. Yay. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to give him some eyes, just like our little picture here, some eyes and a little mouth. And I wanted to do this before I get started on anything else so that these can be taken care of and I don't have to worry about anything else, right? So I want to give some pretty big eyes. Okay, and I want to do maybe a little bit of a highlight. So my white is cut way big. You guys saw that a second ago. So I don't want to use my bag to try to do the highlight. It's just going to be too much, right? So I'm going to have to use the scribe, and with some white on the scribe, just allows me to control it a little bit more than me trying to make that huge bag that I cut to make that work. But I definitely want him to have some highlights. If you wanted to, another way that I do that is just to use nonpareils. If you have some white nonpareils, pull those out and just stick them in there. That works too. Okay. All right, now it's cute little mouth. Cute little mouth. Super cute. I'm just going to take a little bit of regular black glaze and just drop it in there. And then I will smooth it out and make sure it's connecting to all the corners. Okay. Look how cute. My goodness. He already looks so happy because he's in a cup of coffee. He's so cute. All right. So now we get to create the whipped cream. And on the whipped cream, if you wanted to, you could put some sprinkles. I don't know if I have any fun sprinkles over here. All my fun sprinkles are over there. But I think I'll just hold on. So you could definitely put sprinkles. Like I said, all my fun sprinkles are over there. So I have some buttercream glaze in a bigger bag. I was using it to make some grains yesterday. So I'm going to cut this bag quite large. I don't know if you can. Sure. It's quite large. Like I wouldn't even know what number that would be on circles. But I want to create basically just some whipped cream. You could use a star tip if you wanted to, all the things, right? But I'm just going to use like a circle. Okay. So I just kind of went in, and you can always add a little bit if you wanted to. You could use your scribe if you wanted to kind of rough it up a little bit. If you wanted to water that down, this is very stiff. You can see that it's a pretty stiff buttercream. Then you definitely could do that. I am going to make sure that this, couple of things. I'm just going to pipe some right here, just so that my hand that I'm going to put for this sweet little ghost actually has somewhere to sit. So see how I have a little bit of space here? I don't really want that. I want that to be filled so that he has a place for his hands to actually kind of rest on. And his hands, if you see in the picture, they go down onto the cup. So if you wanted to, you could definitely make it that way. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be okay. If you wanted to flatten out, like right here, it's very textured right where that hand is going to go. So I could take this and kind of take it off just to help myself create the hand and have it be a little bit more flat. And when I'm working with buttercream, like this is just something that is nice about it. I can kind of maneuver it and manipulate it like that. I didn't even take any off. I just basically kind of push it down. Okay. Again, just giving myself some flat surface area so that I can make the little hands. I think this one's cut a little smaller, so I'll use this one. Look, he's so happy. I do wish maybe I'll throw some sprinkles on afterwards. So I'm basically going to draw his hands just like they are in the picture, right on top of here. Okay. And honestly, it's not really going to matter because it's going to kind of blend into the whipped cream. Now, if I had some sprinkles and I put that on there, then that would probably help with that. Oh yeah, that's still wet. It's okay. Should have waited, but maybe I'll come back. So you can probably see it here. I should have done these two first and then done this one because these are blending right into the pumpkin. They're just sinking right down. It's okay. I can just come back here in like half an hour to an hour and just repipe these on so that they'll stand up a little bit more. They look a little funny right now. It's obviously standing up way up here, but down here we've just sunk completely into the icing. So if I came back and did that, it would also change it and look a little bit better. You could also shade a little bit like we did yesterday with our little ghost. Take a little bit of black marker, shade a little bit of your ghost, shading the hands as well. You could also go in and shade the pumpkin to give it a little bit more dimension. But I think it's pretty cute. Other than that little bit, I think it's pretty. I would definitely add some sprinkles. So I'll probably run over there to my other wall and grab some just to put on the whipped cream, just to give it more of a whipped cream look. You could use mini marshmallows. That would also be really cute. Um, but yeah, so this is a cute little coffee ghost. I think he's super cute. Yay, super cute. So I hope you guys have a good. What is today? Wednesday. Hope we have a good Wednesday. And tomorrow, what are we doing? Oh, tomorrow we're doing the fun little jack-o'-lantern face. He's real cute, but kind of creepy. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I hope it's sunny there. If it is, enjoy it for us that aren't sunny today. Anyway, hope you have a great Wednesday. Talk to you guys later. Bye.